Goody, just your reaction to Cozzy last night, I suppose. Do you mind if we start there?
Yeah, look, obviously it's disappointing to lose a player, but we certainly understand the decision and the tribunal hearing. We thought we got a really fair case, and we thought, as a club, it was worth challenging in a space that we thought the impact was low, but that wasn't seen to be the case. So we accept that, we move forward, and we look forward to Brisbane.
His pressure's been awesome for you. It's a hallmark of his game on your side. How do you look to replace someone who's dangerous like that?
Yeah, it's hard to replace Cozzy. He's an important player, and obviously an important player for any team. He's a high quality goal kicker that puts on enormous pressure. So, he certainly won't be someone that we replace. It's going to be a team role. We back our boys in to deliver that pressure right across the ground, and we're going to need that. So whoever comes in, which will make a decision post training today, the expectation is going to be a team thing.
How do you get the balance right with him just being the player that he is and then just holding that back so he's not missing games regularly like he has in the last year or so?
Yeah, look, we'll continue to work with Cozzy. This isn't the first conversation that we've had. He's certainly modified the way he goes about it. He's a high pressure, high intensity player, and we love what he brings. He has modified what he does in terms in and around his pressure, and we'll continue to work on the tackle technique and the way to intercept the ball better. And he will continue to improve in that. One of our best players missing games of footy. So we'll keep working with Cozzy. What he has got an appetite to do is learn, get better and do it better. And that's what we love about him.
There's a bit of commentary though about, I think Christian spoke last night, Alan Richardson spoke as well, just saying that they don't want Cozzy to change the way he plays, but the way you were talking is that maybe he's already started to change. Is that right?
Oh, I think when you get suspended, you've got to look at examples where you can get better at it. I think what both Alan and Christian are saying is we love his intensity of the way he goes about his pressure. We love the way he attacks the footy. But can you get better at it? And that's what we do. You got to learn from your experiences as you go through, and that's what the best players do, whether it be how they play the game. In whatever phase that might be, they look to get better at it. And obviously we don't want our best players missing games of footy, but that's what we love about Cozzy. He will get better at it.
Lockie Hunter's available, but does he need a bit of a stint from the VFL after such an interrupted pre-season?
Yeah, he had an interrupted pre-season, so he'll play VFL footy again on Saturday. So he's building really nicely into where he needs to be, but another game of match exposure will be really important for him as he builds into this. And he's an experienced player and an important player, and it's good to get a few of these guys starting to transition back into playing VFL footy and give us some selection headaches, because pressure in and around selection is really important for us.
With the emergence of Caleb Milton, where does Lockie Hunter fit into your side when he is ready?
Yeah, look, he'll fit in anywhere. We're going to play him in different roles. Clearly you need some guys available, forward to centre as well. So we'll look at him in a role there and also on the wing as well. So we're very open-minded to how that fits. You can never have a really fixed mindset about this is the way we're going to play all year. You've got to continue to look for ways to get better, whether that's we move Caleb at some stage. Who knows? But we'll continue to assess that. The first and foremost thing is to get Lockie in really good form and then work on selection from there.
A real gutsy effort from Stephen May to get through. How's he feeling now? And I'm sure he'll be a bit more pain-free this weekend. Yeah,
look, he'll get better and better every week. As I said, with ribs, they take time. They take 4 to 6 weeks to get fully healed. And this week he's feeling better again. So we expect that to continue as we transition through the next 3 or 4 weeks. I thought the way he played was outstanding and the way he performed. So, we're excited about, what he's got his task on tomorrow night. It's a big task against some pretty key Brisbane forwards.
What about Clayton? How's his handling? You guys been managing that? How's he?
Yeah, we're managing that, and that's slowly improving as well. These are just little things that players deal with throughout the season, and obviously after this week we get a sort of a slightly longer break. So after this week, we'll continue to monitor that and make sure we get him right.
He's not in any doubt.
No.
Is it as good a forward trio maybe up there with the Cats that exists, where you got sort of Danaher and Hipwood when he's in form, and Charlie Cameron? Is that as potent a three that goes around?
Yeah, look, we've played Brisbane a lot in recent years, and we've got a great history and rivalry against them in terms of the way the game's played. There's a lot of intensity about it, but one thing about Brisbane is their midfield group and their ability to get their ball forward to talent is exceptional. And when they get that type of game, they're very hard to play against. So, you know, they're very dynamic ahead of the ball. They've got great tall guys that mark the ball, but also good at ground level. So they're a huge challenge. And I know our backline look forward to when they come up against Brisbane, because they know they're going to be playing some really intense footy down there. So we're looking forward to that battle. You know, our backs versus their forwards is something you'll come and watch.
It's only early in the season, obviously, but pre-season it probably wasn't the smoothest lead-in. Do you at all sit here now with a couple of wins under your belt and reflect on, you know, what you had to go through leading into the season? Is there a bit of vindication even with Clayton, or is it, you know, sort of a narrower focus on footy for a coach?
Yeah, look, we haven't achieved anything yet. You know, we're 4-1 and we're positioning ourselves, but you know, right from the start of pre-season, we knew that it wasn't going to be about what we said publicly about who we are and what we're about. We wanted to show everyone, and we've started that process. We're not complete. We've got a lot of growth in us. We've got a lot of continual improvement still left, but what we do want to do is show our people, make people proud to belong to our footy club, and we know internally what that looks like, but we need to go out there and show people.
Is Ben Brown due for a rest, obviously managing his body later in his career?
Yeah, look, we, you know, obviously last week we're heading into a 5-day break, and you know, the original plan was to potentially manage him at that point. He pulled up incredibly well from the Port Adelaide game, so he wanted to play Adelaide, and he's pulled up fantastically well again. What we do know, once you know we get through Thursday night, we have some longer breaks in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So Ben's a real pro. He wants to stay on top of it in terms of his knee, and we'll manage him accordingly. And he's full fitness at the moment.
Do you agree that your forward line functions better when he's in the side?
It functions well when people are playing well. Ben's playing some really strong team-orientated footy for us, and I think now with Brown, Petty, and Jacob, you know, those three are starting to form a really good combination for us and are playing the right way, so we're excited by that.
Is Colton Foster in the frame for that tomorrow?
Yeah, look, he's been impressive in the last few weeks. Obviously, there's Colton, Bailey, Laurie, Woden. There's a few guys really pressing hard for selection, so we'll get through training. So obviously, the Tribunal was last night. We'll have a look at that post-training today.
You really set yourselves up for those 2 games in Adelaide. You came away with 2 great wins in 5 days. How do you make sure the intensity's still up after such a big couple of weeks over there?
Train well, prepare well, and have that same mindset. And that's what the week's been about, is that, as I said, we've got a huge amount of growth in us. We're still not quite playing to where we want to be in terms of the way that we want to play. That doesn't diminish winning, because that's really important in this industry. But we still have some things in our game that we want to get better at, and we're going to go hard after them. The boys trained incredibly well the other day, and today's another important day.
Where do you see that growth, Goody? What are some of the areas?
Oh, look, just in terms of in and around some of our stoppage, clearance and territory game still aren't to the level. Like we've given up a lot of inside 50s in recent times that isn't normal for us, and we've been able to find different ways to win, which is pleasing, and that's what you need. But ultimately, you don't want to live in that space for too long.